instant review was that the running game took a pretty big step forward on Saturday, and everyone seemed remarkably happy about it. What's it been like since? Has the video review borne that out, and is there an extra pep in everybody's step?
Yeah, I think that it's like anything else. Hopefully you get what you stress, and we emphasized the run game for the last 2 weeks, coming off the ball and then punching guys, and as far as the running backs go, finishing runs and being a little more physical and things like that, and it showed up, so it was good.
Tony, when Mike has a game like he did a lot of good things with the football in his hands and also let it slip out a couple times. What are the conversations like between the two of you when you try and emphasize that ball security moving forward?
Well, I mean, it's not like he doesn't know.
Yeah.
So it's not new. It's not reinventing this again. We got a job to do. First and foremost is to take care of the ball, and then everything else after that can come. But so yeah, we discussed it. We dealt with it. We continue to deal with it. We continue to stress it, and if the ball's on the ground that many times, I guess I got to look at myself too and say, what am I not doing? Because obviously the message wasn't delivered enough, and so that's something we'll continue.
Is there a line? Because it's like you guys have been emphasizing to go make something happen, like push it to the limit to try and break tackles and get extra yardage. I mean, sometimes that happens if you're trying to push it, or not acceptable.
My dad told me, so what happens? And I remember I looked at it and I said, wow. Why do you have to lose? Well, you have to lose in order to build character. No, I think you can build character by winning. You have to fumble? No. Can you still run a guy over and break tackles and do that without fumbling? Absolutely. That's what you're supposed to do. So that's what we're going to continue to work to do.
What is the sense that y'all have hit on something with the running game? Obviously, last year against Michigan State, they came in, I think, wherever they were, really highly ranked in the country, run defense, and y'all ran right through them for one of another time. Mike had a career day. What is the sense y'all have hit on something now? Carry through.
Well, I hope it's just, now it's about being consistent and looking into what got you to this point and then how do we improve it and enhance it and continue to work towards that and see the fruits of your labor come to fruition. Continue to work towards that.
But it seemed like people had their pep in their step coming out of that game Saturday. Was the fact that y'all just lined up and kind of ran the ball. I mean, there was no we understood there were no RPOs called.
Well, that's not. That's not.
That's probably I didn't figure it was, but that was the unofficial. That was the exit poll. But there was a sense that y'all lined up for the most part and got physical.
Yeah, we did. But again, we stressed that inside periods and 9-on-7 and team periods, and we stressed those things. And it was like, look, this is what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. And then we did it. We do it again and again and again. This is exactly how it's going to look. And if it doesn't, we're going to do it again until we get the way we want it. And those guys responded. Our players really responded to that. So it's got to keep going.
Tony, what do you like about that jumbo package that we saw? We get Wyatt Davis in there and a couple tight ends.
Big bodies. Big bodies that can move people, hopefully. But everyone's got a job to do. Just go do your job.
What are those conversations like? Urban talked about the long hours during the off day, trying to come up with schemes, and that seems to be a product of that. Was that?
But again, yeah, it is a product of that. But again, it goes back to go do your job. Players line up. At the end of the day, football is me against you. At some junctures, me against that guy. Go do your job. I said, go do your job. JK, Mike, whomever it is, don't let that guy tackle you. So let's not make this harder than what it is. And again, we can talk about schemes and footwork and hand placement and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, I have to be good. That's what it comes down to.
You were running back of repute, and you've been a coach for a long time. What does it do for a football team to refine its running game?
Well, I think this is it's a physical sport, right? I think I'm one who believes you have to run the ball. That's a physical deal. I think when you just start taking it and pounding the rock, eventually, doesn't break crucial will go. But again, that's a mentality.
opportunity now? The offensive line not necessarily really fond of RPOs because they don't know what the backfield action is. Is there something about an RPO that makes the life of a running back more difficult? Is their job all that different on an RPO play as opposed to a traditional one?
I don't think so. It's like the quarterback pulls it, throws it, hands it to you, keep running, go do your job.
What does putting those guys in the pistol do for them? Does that help out?
Lets them run downhill a little more and gain a little more velocity. Versus 3-4 yards away from the line of scrimmage, 4.5, 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage, going sideways and then having to put your foot in the ground at a 90-degree turn versus put your 7.5 yards deep and just show smoking it downhill. So it allows a guy to have a little more velocity.
With the RPOs, you guys went from being pretty RPO heavy to the last game, and Urban talked about this, to not really using any RPOs. That was a pretty big sea change for you guys. Can you just kind of discuss that a little bit?
I think a lot of it's schematics. Playing on what the scheme is. Matchups and things like that. So we gotta go do it. And again, we need it. We do. States physical program. And not from one year to the next, but through the course of time. And so we never slowly back.
Do you feel like this new scheme, though, is what's going to work
Scheme?
with the just straight downhill running instead of more RPOs? Do you feel like that's going to work for you guys better down the stretch here? Because, you could argue that if you guys didn't put the ball on the ground a couple more times, it would have been like 300 plus yards. So, and I know you guys are looking forward to testing that against a really good run defense. But do you feel like the traditional just throwing and just traditional, running is what's going to work for you?
We'll see. Like I said, it's a week by week deal. And sometimes schematically what matchups and what we feel we need to do in order. Michigan State and Maryland and some of North, they've got really good schemes and coaches and players too. So what do we need to do? What do we feel we need to do to take advantage of what they do? But they really come back to them. So be physical, do your job, but
The RPOs are a little bit. Go ahead.
Well, let's bring the quarterback out when you're talking.
How often have you been a part of a team that's made as big of a change as going from being RPO heavy to being very light on RPOs? Just how big of a swing is that? And doesn't that speak to your team's versatility?
it does.
Last two questions for Tony.
I think it does. Yeah, I think it does. But we got athletes all across the board, and our job as coaches to put them in the best position to make plays and to use their skill sets to the fullest. And then their job is to go use those skill sets to the fullest, right?
But on the context of it, is that as big of a change as it sounds, or have you done something like that frequently?
I've been part of offenses that, we've had moved around like that. I've done that before. So, to say that it's some seismic change, I wouldn't.
The RPOs, they kind of give you something that can be useful against a defense like Michigan State, right?
Yeah, all defenses. Listen, an RPO, when JT is here, he would pull it and run. Okay, with RPO now, we pull it and throw it. So you take it for what it is. And that's part of the run game. So let's not say it's just throw, but that's part of the run game. So we'll see. We'll just keep punching the ticket and see how we do.
When you guys were game planning for this year with having Mike healthy and JK back and everything, when you're thinking about how you're going to use the two of them, mostly you guys have used them as one guy gets one drive and the next gets the next. What was the decision behind that? Urban said a couple of times that he doesn't micromanage you on that.
He does not at all.
How do you determine, series as opposed to situations and what?
Well, yeah, I think one of the things we talked about during training camp, and people asked me that, was the whole objective is to make them complete players. It's worked diligently to do that, and I think they both are. And, you could argue that there's certain situations I should probably put this guy in versus that guy. Anybody can argue. There's all kinds of things that I could be doing better. But, so I don't really have a set, third and one, I'm going to do this, or third and long, I'm going to do this. I don't. I've kind of let it run by series because I think they both deserve to play.
Sure.
I know this last game, what would have been a series, they said, well, Mike should have gone in the end. I made a decision that I was going to put J.K. in. He was hot, if you will, if that's the word to use. And, you know, we knew that we had to get a couple first downs to run the clock, and he had done a good job as far as securing the ball throughout. And I said, so here's what we're going to do. And, you know, and Urban, and he doesn't. Urban, thankfully, he's allowed me to coach my room and does not micromanage me at all, which I greatly appreciate. And it worked out.
When you guys were looking over the
Last question.
game, were you happy with how it's worked, drive to drive, or did you even talk about potentially changing that up?
No, we didn't even talk about it.
Okay. So you think it's worked well?
It's worked well.
Tony, when you guys were talking about that stuff during the bye week, how did you land on the featuring the pistol a little more? Were you lobbying for that to get those guys down?
No, it's just, again, we sit in those rooms and we talk about here's the why and why nots, and here's kind of what we want to feature, and it's a collaborative effort. And we're going to kind of move the pieces around a little bit, and this is the best way to do it, and that's what we came up with as a whole.
It just because it seems like a natural pairing to have that more downhill style when you have a drop back passer, I guess, more post style kind of thing. I think people are just wondering like why. I know you've done pistol throughout the year, but you did more than it seemed. Why it took that many weeks to land on doing it more?
I don't know. I mean, that's I can't answer that question. I mean, there's a lot of people that are drop back quarterbacks, if you will, don't get the pistols. So I don't know if I can say that that's the surefire way to do it or not. So don't do it that way. So it's just kind of move towards